Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So for today's sketchbook session, I wanted to go back and revisit using graphite again in the sketchbook because I think ever since Inktober kind of started, I haven't been doing too many just actually sketching. So for the most part, I've been using like markers and fine liners for just like any ink type drawing just to fill up space in my sketchbook, as well as doing whatever is the prompt for that day. Just saying, like now, since we're talking about Inktober, I am probably gonna break my streak today because I am really tired and I don't think I am going to finish in time. But you know, it's okay. I'm just gonna catch up tomorrow and then continue. But yeah, for today's session, I actually wanted to draw Masaki, who is my OC, in some more kind of like puffer jackets or kind of like winter clothes. So the last few days in the city that I live in, we have been getting snow. So for the good chunk of October, it's been like 20 plus weather for the most part, and then we got a few days where it kind of feels like it was really windy and kind of raining, and it was kind of like just below 10 degrees Celsius probably. But then I think on the weekend we got hit by snow, and it's like the kind of snow that still sticks around, but it's not quite like super cold outside. I think it was like really close to just being, I think it was just like -1, -2, so it's just barely enough of a drop in temperature that it was able to freeze over. So yeah, I've been in kind of this mood of switching into winter, I guess, rather than sticking with the fall aesthetic. But I still think there's drawings that I want to do that still fits more of the fall aesthetic, and I'm going to see if I can squeeze them in before winter actually hits completely. Another reason I wanted to draw Masaki in kind of like more wintry clothes is actually because if you guys remember my video of me trying to make a plush of my OC Masaki, that's kind of the reason why. I kind of like roughly made him a little hoodie, and then I had a little piece of Velcro kind of allowing it to close. But I think a couple of days ago, I actually got the fabric for his clothing, and the colors weren't exactly correct, but a lot of them were, so I was able to kind of like mix and match the fabrics to make his clothes. And I got this nice like ribbed fabric for his sweater, and I was able to make his sweater. So you guys will actually see that in for the third sketch. So for today, I am going to be doing 3 pencil sketches. The first 2, I am going to be showing you guys kind of more in real time with choppier footage. And then the last one, I wanted to show you guys the full process, but it'll be in time-lapse. But back to my little plush of Masaki. Because I made his sweater and now he actually has pants too, I put the hood back on, and it kind of looks more like a fluffy winter coat now, rather than just like a bedtime pajama hoodie or something. Just because like the texture of the hoodie itself is very like fluffy, or like has this little, I guess it's like fluff. It's like a little bit of a short pile texture on it, so it kind of looks more cozy. And because I layered it on top of his sweater, he looks like he's wearing kind of like a winter hood kind of outfit. I actually have him right here next to me. But I was able to take a little bit of a break and do the sewing for his sweater and stuff, so that's why I had some progress. But this weekend, to be honest, I actually haven't drawn that much. I've been running errands for the majority of last week, and I'm gonna be attending a lot of appointments and stuff with my mom for a few things, just because I am usually like our family's GPS whenever they need to drive and they need somebody to help them get somewhere, just because I have technically the most flexible schedule. So yeah, I think I'm gone 4 days out of the 5 weekdays, which kind of sucks. I think Monday's my only free day. So yeah, if I seem tired, I guess like when you guys are seeing this video, it'll be Monday. So if I seem tired or if I cancel the stream, that is probably because I want to just take time to either just sit down and draw in silence, or I am just sleeping in. Who knows? We'll see. I think probably recently I've been just feeling more tired. That, or it's just because like I currently have a headache, so I'm just like projecting that energy. But hopefully you guys don't mind today's session. It's kind of more of a simple one. Also, the reason why I wanted to leave this in real-time footage for the first two, and then the last one we'll get into more of like a full time-lapse, is because I feel like working with pencil, I love seeing people just like shade and like do their line work or whatever with a pencil. And I know some of you guys do enjoy the real time a little bit more, just because sometimes like watching time lapses become very, not like deceiving, but it's hard to gauge how fast the person is drawing, right? So it's like, it's hard to see what's their natural stroke or like how they're shading in real time, but doesn't seem like kind of distorted or changing your view on how they work. But yeah, that is the first one of Masaki done. I decided to give him like a quick little puffer jacket, a chunky scarf with the A. No, I think that's it. And I kind of have him with a sweater underneath. And then for this one, we're just going to continue with the puffy coats. I think I saw a comment recently on one of my recent videos talking about how they wanted me to do a video talking about how I do like my thumbnailing. The thing is, it's like I could do a video on it and talk about how I use references and stuff, because I think in more recent videos I've been showing you guys a lot of my thumbnailing, or just like how I kind of visually vomit my ideas onto a page before I actually tackle the illustration. I'm actually going to look in my sketchbook right now, because I think the Kaya one might have been the video where I was talking, or the person was talking about, since I think I did thumbnailing for that. Oh, I did some thumbnailing for Nahida and, or not Nahida, Candace and Nilu. We'll see if I can film a video, because I don't know if I have enough of like proper insight into why I do the things I do. So usually for thumbnailing, it's just for me to kind of like visually barf out any ideas I have, and I need to visually see it instead of just imagining it, because sometimes I feel like your imagination can run so wild that on paper or like actually drawing the illustration, sometimes there's a lot of kinks and like problems you're gonna need to fix before you get too excited about your idea. So for me, I like to either like browse Pinterest or search up like specific things onto Google Images and try to see if I can generate some more like accurate images instead of like my brain just coming up with them, because usually the things I'm thinking about might be objects or scenery or color palettes that I've never tried to use before or in the past, so it becomes a lot difficult for me to visualize it. And I think that's the good thing about like learning how to use references. So if you never knew how to draw like a motorbike, don't try to draw the motorbike from memory unless you like you're doing it as like a progression. So like you could probably draw it from memory and see what you think you know what a motorbike looks like, and then you could do a study of a motorbike, so finding a reference of an actual motorbike and, you know, doing almost like a one-to-one version. And then after that you could kind of like merge the two, which is like what I like to do. So have both your versions of the motorbike. Most importantly for me, it's like the study I have in front of me, and try to draw the motorbike again, but with the drawn reference, and try to get the feeling, because usually when I'm taking my time doing like a study, I'm trying to deconstruct it a little bit in my brain as well as trying to commit it to memory. So I think that's like what I do when I draw characters I'm not familiar with. I usually do like a straight on version in my sketchbook before I dedicate like a whole spread to them. Obviously for like my OCs and stuff, I usually don't do that, but sometimes I will pull up like clothing references. I should have probably done it for these ones because I was just really wanting to draw them in puffer jackets, but I kind of forgot about what the texture of the surface probably looks like. Oh, here's Masaki, by the way. Yeah, he has pants now, as you can see. He's no longer bottomless, and then he has a little turtleneck sweater, and I think it's kind of cute. So I did get like ribbed fabric, and I think it fits his outfit. I also have like a little felt apron for him. I still have to stitch a few things for it and figure out how to tie it in the back. But you can see with the hood, it kind of looks like more like a winter jacket. So yeah, I might get rid of the hoodie eventually because it's really poorly made. Because I didn't really understand how to really stitch clothing. I did take my time to stitch his pants and his his sweater, and I looked up a bunch of like sewing patterns so I would at least have a general idea on how to like stitch the sleeves to the base of the, what is it called? The body? I don't know what you call it, but yeah. I tried my best to sew it as closely as I could to an actual like garment of clothing. Like for the pants, I made sure the seams were on the sides and that you connect them into the center and stuff. I didn't give him pockets. I didn't give like little jean stitching because technically he wears like really light colored pale jeans that are a little bit looser on the bottom, but I just made them light blue, really simple. When I showed my brother, because he was like wandering in and out of my room, like talking and kind of rambling, he's like, why is he wearing shorts? And I'm like, why? Why do you think it looks like shorts? Because like it's literally almost covering his feet, his poor little feet. But yeah, I'm going to be, let's see, I kind of lost my train of thought. I wanted to draw basically a version of him with a similar outfit, so that's what I'm sketching out right now, which I'm doing in time-lapse mode so you guys can see the full process of me doing a rough sketch and then really pushing the values and doing the shading for this one. And I'm considering this one more of a finished version compared to the other ones, which are definitely more rough in my opinion. And yeah, I just needed like some time to wind down and just do some sketching. And Masaki's kind of like my comfort character. I don't really have to think too much about drawing him, and I can just draw, you know, him in some cute clothing, fit my mood, which tends to be like more of the winter-ish times at the moment. What was I talking about earlier? Oh, his outfit for the plush. So you probably saw that the ribbed sweater was not the same color as his usual outfit. So Masaki tends to have more of a lighter turquoise colored, what is it called? Turtleneck. But the ribbed sweater material that I got was much more darker. And I was gonna think maybe it was gonna be a problem, but I've drawn Masaki with like darker clothing anyways, like a darker turtleneck with a light cardigan. And the cardigan tends to be more of a tan or kind of like a beige color. And I actually have a beige color fabric as well. Because I guess at the time, probably a few weeks ago, I was thinking ahead and bought like 4 different fabrics. And I think that will look cute as a cardigan. So it actually looks really nice as like a beige cardigan or tan cardigan on top of the dark teal that I have him in. So I think that will look really cute, and it kind of makes it look like his actual kind of fall attire. So that kind of worked out. Maybe in the future, if I get the cardigan sewn, I'll put in another video so you guys can see kind of like the little update. But yeah, I decided to draw Masaki in the same outfit right here. You can see him with a little bit of a darker turtleneck, and then I drew more of a fluffier hoodie, I guess, or hood. I didn't really plan out this too much. There was like a lot of things I could have fixed, like his eyes are a little bit too far apart, and I didn't really care about where his hand placements were because one of his fingers looks like it's like caught right at the edge of his hood, which doesn't make sense. Yeah, still had a lot of fun doing this. I just love working with graphite and being able to just like almost endlessly shade for the most part. And then later on in the spread, we're going to get to just filling up some of the empty space, because usually whenever I do a spread of one character, I like to make the whole page look a little bit more cohesive in a sense. And that could mean like a bunch of different things for other people, or whatever you're feeling that day. Usually I don't fuss too much for pencil sketch kind of spreads. I think they look lovely on their own, kind of just seeing all the messy lines, you pushing kind of like the values and stuff, or the hatching, any of that. I love seeing like pencil sketches like so much. So yeah, I've just been really missing it recently, so that's why I wanted to do this session. And I don't know, I think maybe if I did like an Ensemble Stars character or a Genshin character or some other kind of character, I think it would have used too much of my brain, like even like doing VTuber fan art or something. Too much of my brain power would be used for that, and I definitely do have a headache right now. So, you know, draw comfort characters, draw them very simply. I'm sticking very much in my comfort zone for this spread for sure. So yeah, just trying to keep it more or less quite simple. and just pushing the values where I see fit and kind of picking and choosing whether or not I'm going to be done, or I could continue to shade as much as I can. You can see I'm just like picking and choosing different areas. And for kind of like wrapping up the rest of the spread, I decided that I wanted to add some color. I've done this in the past too, where I would just take maybe a color or two and kind of fill in shapes behind the characters or a character that I've drawn on the spread with some just like bold shapes. I think it's just kind of fun sometimes. So I did like a little kind of like a elongated triangle in the back for the two figures, and then kind of more of a square for this larger one of Masaki in the front. And I think that's it. I think because I have a little bit of space on the center bottom part, I will just put his name. I think that's like the easiest way to kind of fill up a spread for the most part. So I have this kind of teal turquoisey color, and then I have a darker blue. Actually, it's not that much darker now that I'm looking at it. It's actually fairly similar in value, other than when I go over it twice, it does get a little bit darker. Yeah, and I decided to just outline the right side. Sometimes I do this too, just outline a border around the right side of the figure, or the left side, you can kind of choose. Sometimes if I have a lighter color and a darker color, I'll put the lighter color on the left and the darker color on the right, kind of make it look like it's popping out of the page. Fill up the last part of the spread with his name, and then fill up with like a little sparkle, or I was gonna do snowflakes, but I thought maybe it would be too obvious, so I did these little 5-pointed dashes everywhere. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it's really rambly and my brain's like super scattered right now, but I'll talk to you guys on Wednesday. If not, hopefully I stream today. Who knows? We'll see what kind of mood I am on Monday. But yeah, bye!